It's me again. Today I'm going to show you one of my favorite openings that I play as white. So let's see the opening. You start the game with knight to f3, and your pieces are they're gonna develop like this: g3, bishop g2, castles. You're gonna take space with d4 and c4, and your knight is generally gonna come here to guard the pawn if they take. And after d4, c4, if they don't take, you take them, and after the take you play knight c3. This bishop is sort of tricky to develop, but it can go here and trade for this knight, or it can go fee and chateau like this. It's your choice. Now let's see variations. Opponent plays d5, g3, c5, bishop g2, knight c6, and whenever the opponent plays knight c6 or knight d7, you play this move: pawn d4 preventing e5. And this is what can happen. This is the reverse Grunfeld with white, and c4, and if they take, you win the rook. One of my favorite variations goes like this: knight f6, knight c3, bishop e6, queen a4, queen d7, guarding the pawn and unpinning it. Now you take on d5, they take back, you trade queens, they take with the king, and now you castle, and rook d1 is coming, bishop g4 and bishop g5, and taking the knight is coming to destabilize the d4 pawn. And if the pawn pushes forward, e3, and you win it. So let's go back. Let's say that all doesn't happen, and in a perfect world this might also happen. Let's say opponent plays e6 and knight f6. In this variation, let's say bishop e2, d4, castle, c4. There are variations in which opponent takes. There are a few ways you can play knight d2 winning the pawn, and there are a lot of b5 lines in which opponents try to hang on to the pawn. But here you can play moves like b3 and a4 to try to undermine. Always look out for knight e5, which can win the rook. Not immediately, because there's knight d5, and this knight is sort of irritating, blocking the way. Also, you can play moves like queen c2, queen a4, and knight e5, trying to win the pawn. So that is generally it. Now, what about the middle game? In the middle game, you're trying to gonna create counterplay on the queen side with this g3, bishop g2, fianchet chateau over the long diagonal. Now, there is one last variation I wanted to show you, and it's sort of frustrating: b6. B6 is not so popular, but you might get hit with it. And then do not play g3. You immediately change plans and play d4, knight c3, and e4. And you will have a nice center space, and you can avoid irritating complications. That's all I can say about knight f3 in 3 minutes. So bye, I'll see you later. And don't forget to like and subscribe this video if you want more such openings.